Last week, Prime Minister Mark Carney appointed Canada's first ever Minister of Artificial Intelligence and Digital Innovation, our former colleague, Evan Solomon, now underscoring the federal government's focus on emerging technology. Global powers like China and the U.S. have already been investing significantly more money in AI than Canada has, but will this new cabinet position help fill the gap? It's an interesting topic. Lots of people talking about this. Joining us now for his analysis, media and tech consultant at thinkstart.ca, Mohit Rajhans. Good morning, Mohit. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure.
So let's talk about the political first here. This is the first ever Minister of Artificial Intelligence in this country. There's a lot of talk about it, but this is the first time it's got its own portfolio. Just how significant is that for the country that we're now looking so much at AI?
Very significant. You know, I've been writing about this for the past 3.5 years, and what I've noticed is that many industries are getting into AI across the country, but not anyone is 100% sure about what the regulations are going to be. You see, the world, China, U.S. has invested so much money, billions of dollars, $20 billion in the last 2 years alone. Canada, $6.6 billion when it comes down to investment prior to this new minister being appointed. We have a lot to cover. We have a lot of ground to catch up on, and Canada cannot be left behind when it comes down to the AI race.
What are the areas that we need to do the most catching up on in Canada then, Mohit?
We need to be investing in our private sector a little bit. We unfortunately still have a compute reliancy on the American system right now. So a lot of countries are talking about something called data sovereignty. What we're going to see is big companies like China and India, they're going to want to keep their data inside. And as you know, that without data, there's no AI innovation. So what we're going to have to work out in Canada is where we sit with the G7 leaders. Do we feel like we're sharing information on innovation, or do we put ourselves in a situation where we're trying to, leapfrog them? But we don't have the computer power yet. We don't have urban areas. We only have urban areas that have the computer power to handle some of the AI that's on the horizon. So we need to start investing in infrastructure outside of the major markets in Canada in order for us to get the pure benefit of what AI has to offer.
I mean, and there's so many factors that go into this too, like the energy consumption of AI data centers, things like that, having the proper chips, these kind of things. Does this signal to you that Canada is prepared now to make those investments, that the federal government will lead and that the private sector will follow them?
I think any political decision is a signal, yes. Is it practical? I'm not 100% sure. None of the countries that we have talked about so far have waited for politicians to actually regulate. Instead, they're keeping everybody safe. There's a cybersecurity issue. There's a political security issue. We have a lot of things to work out. But the interesting part is that our private sector in Canada is already on this innovation train. So whether we look at programs like Scale AI, which the government has invested in, or other programs where we're starting to, out in BC, they're starting to invest quite a bit in this sector, what we need to pull together is the right minds. Here's the other problem, Nick. We are going to have a massive brain drain in this country if we don't start educating and actually training people on some of this innovation. We have a massive world that needs great qualified people. Canada has been training some great AI professionals. We might lose them.
Don't we have the father, the grandfather of AI?
Well, yes, we definitely have a history of it, right? But we can't live in our history. Canada has the lead now. We're in a situation where we've got excellent dollar value. We've got immigration policies that can foster this. If we don't put ourselves in a situation where this minister sees the importance of investing right away, then we're already behind in this process.
Yeah, and we haven't really seen any hints from Minister Solomon yet about sort of where we're going. This clearly is a sort of portfolio in its infancy here. What's your sense of where Canadians are at, Mohit, in terms of their either adoption of it or fears of AI? Because, we come on air some mornings and we talk about the downsides of AI, the sort of the dark side, the dark web, the deep fakes, these kind of things. However, there are multitudes of positive impacts, whether it's healthcare, whether it's agriculture, whether it's just business efficiency that AI offers. Where's Canada on this?
I love that you asked that, Nick. This last year, all I've done is go and speak to people that are really excited about what AI can do. On the agriculture side, you're seeing farmers really drilling down on what the data could do to help them serve a larger community, understand, the climate situation, how they can get a better pasture. On the education side, students are so excited about how personalized learning can help them with AI. Sure, originally it was the whole ChatGPT, you're going to get caught. Now you're seeing an infusion of education, AI inside of education, and it's being embraced. I think if we start to have those conversations individually on industry, we'll see the disruption is what people are excited about. Where we can't necessarily get complacent is the fact that none of this technology is regulated yet. And so we're seeing all these announcements this week by Google, Microsoft, et cetera. These are amazing products that you can really want to get your hands on. But the truth is, we don't know if they're going to be legal for us to use and the right tools.
Watch this space. Okay, Mohit Rajhans from thinkstart.ca. Appreciate this. Thanks so much.
Anytime.
That was a real handshake, nothing artificial about that.
No doubt.
Exactly. Mohit, thanks so much.